Welcome back, Lydia. Haven't talked to you for a while. It's great to have you.
Yes. Hey, everyone. Hey, Dale. Thanks for
Hi,
having
Lydia. You globetrotter. How are you?
me. I'm fine, thanks.
You're a
Hey,
busy
Lydia,
woman
welcome
lately.
back.
Hey, Blake. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm glad you found time and excellent time to be talking about perhaps a cable low. I'd love to see your work and what you're thinking. But first of all, tell me what you've been doing lately. What's been dominating your time and what's on your radar?
Oh, wow. I guess investing in general has been dominating my time. More investing, less trading. As we've been investing in the private markets and doing venture capital a lot
Wow.
more doing venture.
You have branched
Africa.
out.
Yes, I've added VC to the portfolio. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been interesting to see Forex, not just trader, but like just the different uses in other countries. And then when you see price action in the markets, I mean, for me, there's some understanding and some interesting insights there as we're looking at everything move, particularly now.
Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Today? And I would guess, I don't know if it comes into play, but dealing with all these different countries, I know your focus is in Africa, that, a lot of these transactions, being able to advise clients, what currency they should be in before you do the deal or they sign up and do accounts. Is foreign exchange a big part of what you're doing besides, meeting people and collecting assets for your projects?
Yes, definitely. So it doesn't surprise me that we see dollar strength all over the place.
Yeah.
Because there's still a very much a demand for dollars, especially when you're doing cross-border transactions, whether it's investing or whether it's just simple commerce and trade.
Yes.
There's still a demand. There's still a demand for dollars. People still want to transact in dollars.
You would expect that anyway for a while, but do you, your work telling you that it's possible that that low at 22 may be setting the stage for broader strength in cable against the dollar, just like, commodity currencies are performing? Do you sense some type of turn developing here, Lydia?
Yeah, and I think when you look at the weekly chart, you get a sense of why we're finally seeing some strength in the pound dollar, because we've just had such a fantastic fall in cable, which is just this crazy amount of strength in the dollar. Here it is. Okay, there we go. And to me, it's necessary for us, I mean, as always, to find this correction. So I just think that once we see this U-turn that's happened in the past 12 months, or maybe even almost 18 months or so, and you have to ask yourself after a fall like this, where's a bottom? Now, it remains to be seen if this is a temporary bottom or if this is truly going to be a reversal in the pound dollar. And I think you have to watch what the Central Bank of England does, because they've kind of been behind in expectations of interest rate hikes. And I think that's, at least for this pair, and I think maybe for the dollar, it's been the anticipation of interest rate hikes. So now that we have the hikes, it's classic. You buy the rumor and you sell the news. We're now seeing a little bit of a sell-off in the dollar, but to me, it's still a correction. So you all can see my lines here. My Fibonacci.
Would it have to get back over 130 to be convincing? That was a big breakdown.
Yeah, and I think even sooner than that, you would want to see I think you want to see it above $1.2775, which has been a huge, was a huge support in cable. And so if this, it's all about whether or not we see a hold, we might get a break. But if we get a hold below this, a hold above or below $1.2775, that could be indicative of future direction.
That's
And
your
the way
line in the sand.
yeah, and the way we broke below that, like, yes, $1.30 for sure. But the way we broke below $1.75, 27.75, just to take us all the way to 22, it was the break, and it was then the hold below that.
Okay, I want to acknowledge that I don't remember the last time we were on. Do you? How many months ago it was?
No.
This ballpark. But anyway, I asked you about equities, and you were cautious and actually bearish, and said that the people you were talking to, and with rates, and you've seen this movie before, so I assume you were able to move a lot of your clients into less exposure or hedge, or how did you handle this decline? You recognized it. Did you do anything about it?
Well, it depended on your time frame. So that's I tweeted that. It all depends on the time frame. I can pull up my equities chart here. I was looking at it before I was.
That was a great call, Lydia.
So. Thank you. And I still think so. So depending on your time frame, a lot of my clients are young, so it doesn't make sense to move. It actually, what we did, instead of moving people out, I'll just talk about my younger clients, but instead of moving them out, what we did was we just stopped buying, and we're just looking up for where to buy. So that's kind of where we're at now. Okay. It's like I tweeted this, maybe it was, maybe it's a week. I guess it was 2 weeks ago now. But it's all about, to me, 38.15, because
38%.
Even though I say we're in a bear market, because I think that we can grind lower. I don't think it's a market crash type of situation, but I do think that we could move lower, but it will be a grind. It would take, it will move slower than I think we've seen in past market downturns. 2020, was it 2018 before that? Like, I think it will, they happened so fast, and then the subsequent recovery was fast as well. I don't think that will be the case this time. So I'm watching to see how equities, or the S&P in particular, stays above this 38.2, which is at 38.15. Because remember, with Fibonacci, like a shallow correction is actually very bullish. Yes. So if we can stay above 38.15, and now we're back above 4,000, which I know is a line a lot of people are looking at. But for me, it's about 38.15. We stay above here. Maybe we meander. We can do some consolidation around this level, maybe below 4,000, and then we can find more strength. That's a very bullish, actually quite a very bullish development. It's the kind of correction buyers will want to see in any market. 38.2, a shallow correction. We find some accumulation, consolidation, and then whatever the fundamental catalyst becomes, that allows more risk appetite in equities in particular. So right now, I'm not in a rush. You know how summer months are in the market. So no rush, really looking to see how this holds support. It's quite possible that in the opposite direction, it could be that, we're just, if you're bearish, if you're, a seller, this is a nice correction in the opposite direction, right? So it's possible we could turn lower. So, and if we do, I'm looking at the 50% line, which is 3,500. I still wouldn't be panicking at 3,500. I think I would be a very comfortable buyer at that level. Right now, I'm cautious still, because it's possible we get a deeper correction. It's possible we just consolidate and move higher. So still just cautious about it, especially because for the sell-off that took 5-6 weeks, we're correcting.
You're strongly neutral here.
Very neutral. It's not a panic.
All
But you'll
right.
still family say we're in a bear market, and it's mostly because I think that we can grind lower. But
Yeah.
it's going to be I think it's going to be a slow go. I don't think it's going to be any kind of panic selling. I think it'll be a slow go, which might
Okay.
catch younger traders who haven't seen a bear, like a real bear market. As
Yeah.
it could
They've
be
never seen one. Yeah.
not a
Let
bear.
me,
Yeah, they've seen
yeah.
crashes. So
Yeah.
that's, they've never seen like a grind out bear
Yeah.
market and cities are down type
Yeah.
of situation.
Yeah.
So
Where
yeah,
months and months and months of
right,
not
exactly.
turning. I wanted to also get your take on, most investors have a mix of bonds and stocks and cash. And I don't know about you, but it's the first time I've seen risk off being led by the bond market. Where were the losses heavier, in people's bond portfolios or stock portfolios?
Um, bonds.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I mean, it led the whole
Yeah.
thing. You have
Bonds
yeah,
fell apart. Like I
yeah.
was
They
very
didn't you think there
surprising.
might be some buying might come in on some of those, 150 point, 200 point S&P down days that there
Yeah.
wasn't even a
And
bid
there
in
wasn't
bonds?
any. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was price in bonds has been really surprising. I think the biggest surprise to me is everything's been down. So
yeah,
a lot of people want crypto to be a safe haven. It's not,
yeah,
at least not yet.
yeah,
Gold hasn't reacted in this risk off environment, I think, as expected because of the strength in the dollar. So it's
right.
just been a very interesting. I mean, what do they say? This time is different. It's been,
Yeah, it's all one market. They're all
yeah,
expanding together and contracting together, just in different degrees. I think the
yeah,
linchpin is the dollar, don't you?
absolutely. That's the common denominator. I
Okay.
agree completely. And
All
so
right.
for
So
me here, we moving people out of bonds because this right here, we have a signal of a reversal. So if we're staying
yeah,
below 18,
yeah,
118,
yeah,
we could actually move lower, folks, So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're talking about the last time we were here was what 5 years ago? Yeah, the taper tantrum
yeah,
was the last time we were
exactly.
there. And I mean, all the COVID gains completely wiped out.
It's gone.
I wanted to wonder, I wanted to wonder. I wonder. Uh, the yen has been on a tear. So
Mhm.
I'm curious what Guppy looks like to you at this stage.
So Guppy to me did a turn when it did
Yeah,
this, what I thought would be just a correction to 160, but it did this move to 155. And to
yeah,
me, that was a reversal. You can kind of see like it kind of it's almost a U-turn of this move. I
yeah,
expect it now to move lower. I actually expect it to move into 150 as the yen starts to finally gain strength. I really thought that the yen would be stronger in this environment, and it just hasn't been, right. We've seen the yen
yeah.
pair at levels that we haven't seen in
It
a
was
long time.
a monster.
Yeah, yeah, the sell-off was crazy. It was crazy across the board. So it had me looking at a dollar yen a lot, and it was the same thing. Strong dollar, this strong dollar. And so this is really the only currency that the pound could find strength against
Yeah,
in recent. Well, I guess this and the euro, actually. The yen and the euro is probably the only currencies that the pound could find some strength against.
okay.
And it looks like we're turning as yen, the pound is just turning weaker across the board here as well. We look
Yeah,
at the euro pound.
Euro pound made its low months before the euro, and so Euro pound was giving buy signals while the euro was still making new lows.
Yes.
What do
Yeah.
you think? Over 86, we could be looking at 90, don't you think?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely think so. And I think last time we were together, we were around 86 maybe. And I was
Yeah,
looking at
big
this
area.
spike, yeah, this big area here. I think we can see it better on a monthly chart. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were looking at, this 82. Yeah, we were
yeah,
looking at these and we're around here and saying We could still fall here, folks. And you can see, you know, it's a correction on these larger time frames. But you know how the euro pound likes to move. It takes its time. So
It's
I
been
agree with you.
sideways for 6 years.
Yeah,
Looks
exactly.
I mean,
Right.
we could blow. We could. It looks like we could in a bull market in euro. We could probably even take out those highs.
Mm. If we see the euro recovering, yeah, definitely. And you know, a fundamental catalyst for that could be a ceasefire
Yeah,
between Ukraine and Russia. That could be a catalyst for more euro strength, which I think
right.
that's been the drag on the euro. I think just coupled with risk aversion that a war would cause.
Yeah. What a classic buy the rumor, sell the
Yeah,
fact, or people buy headlines. The euro bottoming on the first war in Europe in over 70 years,
right.
and being dependent upon Russian oil. And so, I mean, the backdrop is still, in their economy weaker in measure than
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. So there's not one reason to buy the euro. That's why I liked it down there. So I think the interest rate differentials may be repriced, but any
Yeah.
view on uh, let's see. So we may as well get to at least one commodity currency because I think they've bottomed. Okay, the rally in Canada, USD CAD, and the pullback in Aussie were shallow, and there you go. Okay, so commodity currencies are going to outperform cable probably for a long time, don't you think?
Yes. And we have this support here. We're kind of a triple bottom,
Yeah,
which means that this support level, was this 155? Yes,
yeah.
157. Sorry, 157.50 is which is a great level.
I don't think I'd short this here.
Yeah. So if we're holding bottoms here, we're
Get a
holding
little
we're holding
stop
above
hunt
here.
first. Yeah,
We have to get above 162. Once you get above 162, and we have some support here, some formal lows. So 162.75, we
yeah.
take that out again. We hold above that. Yeah, absolutely. We can see a move back, really back long term, back towards 170. We have this moving average here, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
see
I
that.
really love this. I love this bottom. It's still 100 pips from support. So you want
Right.
to be careful about picking your entry, but this is actually it's a great entry. Short term, again, we could probably make another stab back at the lows just
Yeah,
because
clean the
still,
stops out,
yeah,
Lydia, unless
exactly.
we already have. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
they're just buying, and then sellers coming in on a fib on this
Yeah.
down wave here, and so we could still see a stab back at the lows. I would be comfortable stepping in on a buy if we came back into support.
Okay. Any market you want to wrap it with before we talk about where people could follow you and show, everything you do? You're such a Renaissance woman.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dale. I think we have to wrap it up with Bitcoin. I mean,
Okay. All right. Are you having people do anything in there?
oh
Your
my goodness.
clients want it. I know the millennials want it, right?
Yes. Yes, which
Okay.
makes clients want to understand what kind of exposure should I have to it. So I
Yeah.
think it's been interesting in this space to see the products that have been coming out, like the ETFs, even
Yeah.
some mutual funds. So I think the products around it have been interesting, just an interesting development in the overall adoption and really the demand in digital assets. But boy, has it sold off. And Bitcoin being the king of them all, kind of leads the market still. I know people want it to be otherwise, but Bitcoin still kind of leads this market. Seeing it drop from 67,000 down to 25,000, but below 30,000 it's taken time. It's taken
Yeah.
time, but it's actually a call one of my analysts made back in November, and it was one that I disagreed with. I said, I don't know how you can call Bitcoin at 30,000 when we're headed towards 60,000, and then it went higher still, right? But ultimately he was early, and he's ultimately riding. To his credit, he said it will take some time to develop, but we're going to 29,000. And wow, what a
Who
call
said
that
that?
was. One of my analysts, his name is
Oh,
Dale.
okay, yeah,
Yes. And so yeah, he's really great for long-term calls.
yeah,
And so in my more medium term, I think. And so we can definitely have opposing views, but he called it. He definitely called it. He stuck by it. He stuck with it. So even when if we fell to 35-ish, 34, he still was adamant that we're going to 29 after a correction into 40,000. So I mean, his view is long, but it's been quite correct. And so what's interesting to me is this break below the 61.8 level. If you
yeah.
follow me, you know that that's a signal of a reversal. And so for me, I wonder if we move lower.
So if
Not.
that's a neckline there, Lydia, at 30
Mhm.
and the high was 65, it measures negative 5,000.
And we've gone, we've seen some,
It's not going to pull a
we've
crude
seen
on.
some markets turn negative like crude that
Yeah, I
never
don't
would have
think
not
it's
go
good.
negative, right?
Yeah, I know it's an exaggeration. Anyway, but maybe 20, huh?
I think a move to 20,000 is still on the cards. Like
Do you own any, or have you become at least open to consider buying this next break in Bitcoin to 20 to have some?
Yeah, I do own some. I've held
Okay.
Bitcoin for a long time, so it's just to me
Okay.
one of accumulation. It's not it's not a trade for me.
Yeah.
To me, I do think that there's a digital economy that's being born right before our eyes, and if you want to participate, you got to have some kind of crypto. So for me, it's just a way that I'm able to participate once this I guess this metaverse comes to fruition.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's been during the bull times, it's been incredible. I've definitely unloaded. I don't hold the same amount that I held back in 2016. I've accumulated, I've taken profits, just like any other trader.
The portability of being able to take your wealth with you in your pocket on just a little device is attractive, isn't it?
Yeah, and avoiding certain currency risks. So
Yeah.
you see, like Nigeria is the second largest Bitcoin market after the US because of the currency risk, because of the devaluation in the Naira,
Yeah.
and the difficulty in getting dollars, especially if you are trading cross borders or if you're investing. That has driven a lot of this adoption. I don't know if you know, the Central Africa Republic is the second country to make Bitcoin a legal tender after El Salvador. So
Yeah.
these markets, I don't think Bitcoin goes anywhere. And to me, I hold it because I want to be able to participate in
Okay.
whatever our future markets, economies look like. Another interesting thing is DAOs. So DAOs are trying to replace, like a mutual fund, but decentralized mutual fund, basically. That's how I see it anyway. That's a view, or a fund. Some people like to look at it as a fund. So all of these things, just require you to hold some kind of Bitcoin so that you can participate in these future
Okay.
market instruments.
All right, Lydia. Well, thank you. It was great hearing your views and your voice. And
Thank
the best
you.
way for people to follow you on Twitter at Faith Might. And
Yes,
um, how else can they reach you? Want to show your website here?
sure. So Faith Might is definitely is the handle on all the social media. You can find me on all the social media platforms there, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter is the best place, of course, for market, for my market talk. And then if you're interested in our services, we do advise across asset classes. So we do also include venture capital as well as stocks. So you can check out the website here, fmcapitalgrp.com, and then we put all our market analysis commentary here. And so you can see from myself, you can see from Dio, who's an analyst with us, of just our different views and takes across markets. So Forex,
Okay.
we recently looked at the Kiwi, commodity dollar. And then we also, but we also have stocks in here. I'll do some VC commentary. So that is how you can catch up and keep in touch with me.
Well, again, Lydia, I always root for you. Congratulations on, the expansion of what you do from, just really paying attention to the pound to becoming a expert generalist across the board. And really appreciate you giving some time and coming in here and hanging out with us for a half an hour today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoy the community here. And you all do such a great job, the whole dream team. So this is definitely always the community I love to come in and visit. And thanks, guys. I'm looking in the chat, and I love this. That's about the most sober crypto strategy analysis I've heard yet. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for being so grounded, Lydia, and centered when you talked crypto today. So we're all fans of yours, Lydia. Continued success, and I'll get in touch with you via Twitter, and we'll get something set up for the fall.
Awesome. I love it. Looking forward
all right,
to
so don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Having Lydia here is one you could count for today. And everyone have a great day. You could join the team on the Morning Edge in 18 minutes. Adios, and thanks again, my trading warrior sister, Lydia Finkley.
Thanks. Thanks, Dale. Thanks, everyone.
See you, Lydia.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.